Are we doing a little intro first?
I mean, I always have to be the one that says hello to everybody, so I feel like one of you guys should do it this time.
Welcome to the EFAP show, everybody.
Whoa!
Thanks so much for introducing us.
Rags, Mahler, Fringy. I'm joined by my guests.
Yeah, to watch
Right.
TV.
I like TV.
Something we've all been
sometimes.
doing for so long in life, and yet they keep making more of it. They haven't stopped. They were
They
making it
hadn't
before I was
learned
even
their
born.
lesson.
And they're like, yeah, we're going to try this again. It's like,
I was
really?
considerate of them spending all those years building up a catalog of things for you to watch when you would eventually exist.
Oh, I thought it was more so like they just keep putting out new ones, and they're like, this time, this one's about people going through struggles. And it's like, yeah, no, I've seen that before.
Okay, wow. Is that what
I'm
people
sure.
go through? Okay,
It's like, no, this one's different. It's zombies. And you're like,
Oh, okay, wow. Okay. But let me guess, the people are the real monsters. Ooh,
Whoa.
aren't you fucking clever?
I
Oh,
saw a
wow, that's
discussion about
clever.
that because
Oh,
I've
wow.
seen there have been takes on episodes already. Episode 3 was reviewed by Ben Shapiro, and people were like, I don't think he realizes The Last of Us refers to, and then they explained a bunch of things, and then other people were like, yeah, that's the same as the people realizing The Walking Dead was referring to the humans, not the actual zombies. And everyone was like coming over themselves about how much they'd interpreted it, and I was sitting there like, oh, I thought that stuff was obvious, but all right,
Yeah,
that's fine.
yeah.
I like the title The Last of Us specifically because I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. It's like doubles up. It's like not only talking about the last of humans, but the last of the humanity they have. We've talked about this a couple times, and it's going to be relevant in the show as it goes forward, I'd imagine. But my God, everyone likes to use anything they can to assert how much more intelligent they are than the next person, huh? I understood it. I bet you haven't even read the book Understanding Themes by Dr. Ergenfaud Schiesen. Like, no, I haven't.
I felt like the zombie kills eventually got in the way of The Walking Dead, you know, where it's like every episode needs an obligatory killing of at least one zombie, where it's not, it doesn't really have like a narrative purpose in that episode. It's just
like they require
it's ticking boxes.
I think that
zombie
was
encounters.
like actually, yeah, a requirement for that show. It might have been.
You wouldn't want to bore people by not having zombie encounters, would you?
Yeah, and maybe they were right because that show ended up being like the biggest show in the world for a time.
You know,
It did.
yeah, it's a good
maybe
point.
that's right.
Maybe there's something to that for sure.
Well, in terms of getting people to watch it, I guess. In terms of artistic integrity, you should let people do whatever they want.
You guys
Yeah.
know
their zombie show.
You guys know about Big Brother, right? That show.
Yeah,
I've heard of
yeah,
it, but I've never
reality
seen
show.
it.
Did you know they made a special where I think it was a couple of episodes that ran in like I want to say like 2006, I mean fucking ages ago, but it was a zombie special and it was like a movie or rather a TV show in terms of the quality I think that they did. And the idea was it was like fiction, it wasn't like reality show or anything, where they run a Big Brother episode and like I mean a week into it or something, a zombie infection hits the UK, and so everyone in the house doesn't know that's happening. And then I think they even had the presenter who at the time was Davina McCall, like she's like terrified running in there, and I think she's been bitten or something like that. And I just remember thinking like that could be fun, couldn't it? Like I'm kind of like, you know, like Love Island or I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. You have that sort of shit happening, but then also a zombie apocalypse in the outside world, and so they actually have to go from doing these like silly survival things where it's like, oh, how many bananas can you get? You know, if you get more points, better feast for you and your blah blah blah. It's like it actually becomes a survival circumstance, and I don't know, there might be potential there.
Well, if it was just like a zombie reality show, the reactions wouldn't be as fun or genuine. But if like you have something like Big Brother that's supposed to have nothing to do with zombies, and then you introduce a zombie element like that, like everyone is like, "What? What's going on?"
You almost want to.
Like that-
It would be too unethical and high risk factor. But if you actually had a normal Big Brother episode, everything's filming, and then you high makeup, put in an actor into the room that's pretending to be a zombie, and just like slowly walking towards them, and you have some guy, like maybe one of them is in on it, and he walks up to him and is like, "It's just a fucking actor," and then the guy like goes, "Blah," and it's like, you know, they have blood packs, and he's like, "Oh, run!" Like that sort of thing. Yeah. But then, you know, if you have just one guy who's like, "It's a fucking, I'm gonna kill the zombie," and he starts hitting it, you're like, "No, I'm an actor. I'm an actor. Please don't kill me."
Yeah.
Not long ago, there was a story about a bank heist or a casino heist, you know, that took place during a zombie apocalypse, and that's really interesting.
Oh, that sounds like a great premise. Did you just come
Yeah,
up with
can you-
that? Because I don't think
Yeah,
anyone's
yeah,
made
I
that. Because
did.
I would
I
have
was-
heard about it. Because that sounds so good.
I was just thinking, like, wouldn't it be cool to have like a totally played straight casino heist movie, and then like a third or halfway through it, it's just boom, a zombie apocalypse just breaks out? Like, wouldn't that be cool to see like a similar-ish idea?
I don't think any
Yeah.
Whoever
director would
makes
waste
it.
an idea like that.
Yeah, if you have that idea and you know get the funding and the actors and you know the production team to make a movie like that, surely you wouldn't waste that opportunity and ruin that idea for years to come for everyone else.
Nobody would do that. Crazy.
No one would do that.
Cool,
That would
that'll be done soon, probably. That
a
sounds
neat
pretty
idea.
cool.
Any day now.
Anyway, The Last of Us
Anyway.
TV show, we've done 1, 2, 3 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you could say we've done the foundational part of this show. We're now moving into developmental. I made that up, but that could be how it works. I don't know. We'll find out. Maybe 1, 2, 3 is groundwork. 2, 3, 2 words, numbers. That's the one I was looking for. 4, 5, 6.
It feels like those 3 episodes were the groundwork, right? The backstory, then sort of the status quo in this world, and then
Yeah, premise,
I guess
explain
the
characters.
the inciting incident, and the thrust for Joel to go on this adventure, and then more material to further inform like thematic material that's going to be relevant throughout the season.
Yeah.
And now it's like this is the adventure. The adventure has begun, basically.
I have been on record on Open Bar saying that I am actually relatively critical right now of Joel and Ellie. I think that they've not quite done enough yet, but that could be made up for in this episode. I've heard they have some stuff to do, so I'm excited to see what that may be.
They got a working vehicle. They drove off when we last saw them. Anything could happen now.
Well, it's the 2 of them now. That's the main thing. There's no Tess, there's no Bill. It's just the 2 of them. So it kind of forces those characters to interact. It means that Joel can't just use Tess as a means of keeping distance between himself and Ellie.
True that. You guys ready?
True that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whoa. Whoa.
Whoa, number 1 in the hood.
Will we get an opening scene?
Ooh.
No.
No. Okay.
No teaser this time.
I guess they may be done with those then.
That's a shame.
I was liking them, yeah.
Yeah, I like the idea that it opens up with before the event happens, or if you sprinkle in how the outbreak happened like all over the world, like a similar scene to the first episodes, but maybe a shorter one, and it takes place in Bangladesh or Timbuktu.
And a government POV like in America, right?
That would be cool.
Oh yeah, like a soldier's POV. That would be cool.
Oh yeah.
A guy who's called up to be like, "Yo, you got to shoot these people," and he's like, "Sure thing." And then
I wouldn't be able to resist following the life of a normal soldier on a normal day, and then he gets given orders that are kind of insane sounding, and then he meets some zombies, and imagine a whole episode of that, and you know how it ends? He walks up to, shoots a zombie, sees 2 people, like, oh, it's Joel and Sarah.
Yeah.
Hey, it would be cool if we made the guy a whole-ass character, okay? And then...
Yeah, and then it turns out he's really shit at shooting things right in front of him.
Well, see, I was actually going to say maybe we could go as far as giving reason for why maybe he's been through 3 experiences in that day alone of people he tried to trust and were bitten and everything went wrong, you know? Don't play with guns, young lady.
One in the chamber.
Look, Rags.
Yay, they did it! They did it!
Yeah, I was wondering if they were actually gonna remember that.
Was that from the game or something? I can't remember.
Oh no, it's just that a lot of films and TV shows don't remember that, like, you unload
Oh,
the
right.
there's still a
I was
bullet
gonna
in
say,
the
like,
chamber.
what you would say there's like it's just from life. It's that we cover so much media where this is the complaint. Guns are often not guns.
They always forget about the chamber round, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And they think that you can click it multiple times without
Yeah, and
because you can't pull the trigger anymore. The trigger's already been, pulled.
you almost
You have to-
understand how this shit happens because so many people who portray guns in media have only got familiarity with guns through media.
Yeah, kind of.
Which,
Yeah,
by the
they
way,
never were like,
hands up. I don't know anything near enough about
'cause
guns,
the
but I would
big
probably
deal
hope
is,
to hire someone who does. You know.
The big pet peeve is when they call a magazine a clip. It is pretty much every gun that is in like a TV show now. that
Well,
will
here's
have
the
a
thing.
magazine
So many
got a
people
clip.
do that in real life. I can't even
Can't even
fault
them
it.
anymore.
Yeah, it's like they're wrong. They'll always be wrong. But if someone in the world does it, I'm like, yeah, that's what people do. People get it wrong in the real world.
This stuff's almost water. Back in the day, we'd drive 10, 12 hours on one tank.
They're addressing how gas breaks down over time too.
Yep.
And he's saying that what we're siphoning when you work the less time. Good for you. Good for you, show.
That's good.
That's a common complaint we have for shit in post-apocalypse.
Look at the technique he's got there as well, where he doesn't have to, cough up like Otto, cough up all of the petrol.
Otto, why don't you get some more gas? Here's the credit card.
Ooh.
And the mint for afterwards.
Start the bus, Otto! Start the bus! Damn! I shouldn't have eaten the mint first.
I should have used the mint first.
Yeah.
How does that work?
It's a siphon. It's when liquid travels against gravity because pressure.
You don't know.
I know it works.
You just said it uses like pressure to counterbalance gravity that just says you don't know how it works. Like, I don't know,
That is how it works.
Yeah, that sounds
create
pretty
an
on
area
point.
of, you literally essentially just like blow it out in a sense.
Well, I think she got the sense he was kind of reading off a page in a way, where it's like that's something he remembered reading about it. He doesn't actually understand the
Oh, she got
the
a
physics
fun
at work
look there.
Okay. This is your fault then.
Okay, we need to lighten the mood. Ready? It doesn't matter how much you push the envelope, it'll still be stationary.
It doesn't matter how much you push the envelope. It'll still be stationary.
What is that?
It's a joke book. No pun intended. Volume 2 by Will Livingston.
Let's keep going.
What? 2? Like TOO?
Jesus.
What did the mermaid wear to her math class?
What?
An algebra.
Terrible.
What did the mermaid wear to her math class?
Nothing, because she's a slut.
An algebra.
Aha!
Algebra.
Aha!
I stayed up all night,
No.
wondering where the sun went. And then it dawned on me.
Feel free to wait in the truck.
Okay, but just know, you can't escape Will Livingston.
The conflict for him right now, at least it comes across this way to me, is that he will do everything to protect her, but doesn't want to get close to her at all.
Yeah, that seems like what's happening.
And that's another good beat to add to that, I think.
Must
Yeah.
have been some truck.
Yeah, they used to stick big-ass plows on them and clear the roads for their tanks and such.
I want to see a tank.
You will.
You probably will.
Here, this make you all nostalgic?
This is actually before my time.
Oh, they've done this now, okay.
They're doing it.
I thought they'd already sort of used their moment for this, but there you go.
Got something else.
Oh my god, they are doing that joke.
It's, light on the reading, but it has some interesting pictures.
Oh, no. Put that back. That's not for kids.
Light on the reading, but it's got some interesting photos.
Now, Ellie, that ain't for kids.
Whoa! How the hell would he even walk around with that thing?
Get rid of
Look,
that.
hold your horses. I want to see what all the fuss is about.
How do you even walk around with that thing?
Please get rid of it.
Hold your horses. I want to see what all the fuss is about.
Oh. Why are these all stuck together?
Why are all these pages stuck together?
I'm just fucking with you. Bye-bye, dude.
I'm just fucking with you. Bye-bye, dude!
You know, I initially thought they would, but in light of our episode 3 discussion, I do agree that this doesn't feel quite appropriate now that he's gone, and he's not quite the asshole that he was in the game.
I think it's still way better to put it in episode 4 than 3.
Right.
That was my main
yeah,
thing,
that's
like they wouldn't...
A bit of a divide in the tone.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
because this is much chiller than episode 3.
Yeah.
yeah,
And she was
I wasn't sure if they were going to do that scene.
obviously joking. There's not actual like.
right.
Well, they look a lot further away from Boston now. They look like they're in the plains.
No, I meant sorry that could have been from any point in Bill's life. What I meant.
Oh, sure.
In the game, they go to Pittsburgh now, but I don't know if the show's
No,
treating it as the same
they're,
spot.
They're skipping Pittsburgh. I think they're going somewhere else.
Yes, it's an interesting thing. This the adaptation of a game to TV show. Where do you squeeze and where do you extend?
Yeah.
Loves.
Well, it
Those
depends.
big old
if
yellow
they're gonna
signs with a
follow
heart
the,
on 'em.
Are
They
they
got
going to
those
follow
around
the seasonal sort of structure of the game where you got the summer section, which is pretty long, and then by autumn, that's when they get to Jackson.
So I'm still very much appreciative of how much they've nailed the world in this.
Oh yeah.
It looks great. Everything look at this. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
And seamless as well, like use of visual effects.
Yeah.
That's enough for today.
The direction and cinematography of this show overall reminds me a lot of Breaking Bad. You got a lot of like steady, well-composed shots, really nice wide shots. The use of cold opens sometimes, like with
Yeah, and
episode
then
2.
they take advantage at times of their very still cameras on moments that are very like atmospheric or even oppressive.
Yeah.
I'm so glad they brought the composer from the games and let him do it for the show as well. Just makes you all the more baffled why they didn't do that with Halo.
It's so
A
hard
game
not to
that
compare this to
has
Halo.
a
It really is.
more iconic,
Yeah.
potentially. I don't want to say
Ravioli,
that, like,
ravioli, give me the
Blockbuster's
curioli.
fantastic. It's just great that they didn't forget him. They brought him.
That is 20-year-old Chef Boyardee ravioli.
That guy was good.
I actually agree. Get us to Wyoming by next morning.
So can we start a fire? I'm freezing.
Now, why am I going to tell you?
Wow,
now?
so they've traveled quite a
Because we
distance
have to go see
then.
the smoke.
No, fungus isn't that smart.
I was actually about to say, I doubt infected would
People?
For
understand
people,
smoke,
yeah.
but people will.
They'll have way more in mind than that.
Okay. Actually smells kind of good.
Well, that would be Frank's then.
Bill's stinky.
Himself a rifle.
I don't know. I feel like if I was in there, I wouldn't bring a bolt-action rifle. I'd bring something semi-automatic.
Bolt action requires you to like do the whole like reload thing instead of just pulling the trigger each
Yeah.
time.
Is there any reason anyone would
Significant.
pick a bolt-action rifle over?
Range, right? Like usually
No.
bolt action. No. Okay.
Nah, I mean,
They're-
like the only time that might factor in if you were like an actual marksman sharpshooter, but virtually all the time you're going to be the limit of the gun's accuracy, not the gun itself. Plus,
They're less
being
prone
able
to jamming, aren't they?
potentially, but if the gun's well taken care of, then I definitely would
Maybe
something
he
else.
just wants to do some 360 no scopes, like with
Very
the...
true. Some sweet ass kill cams.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a serious question?
Yeah.
Why did the Scarecrow get an award?
Why did the Scarecrow get a promotion?
All right.
Because he was outstanding in his field.
That'll do.
Because he was outstanding in his field?
You dick! Did you read this?
No.
Look at that
Sweet.
little smile.
I like that, yeah.
This is how to do it. You're doing the
Also,
thing.
yeah.
Good job.
I'm sleeping in the truck.
Well, you go do that, Rat. I like the outside
maybe I
world.
will. Wow, they planted a whole tree for this show.
There's a few of them.
There's no way anyone knows we're here, right? No one's gonna find us.
No one's going to find us.
Oh, that's just she's worried.
Well, it's just she hasn't had encounters with people who don't live in the QZ.
Yeah, she doesn't have bandit-y types. I imagine she hasn't
Yeah,
run into
whereas...
Whereas he
Oh,
is very familiar. He's been
Yeah.
one.
he was one.
What's that light out there?
It's the moon. It's very
Right.
bright.
It's very localized. It's like the Aurora Borealis.
Borealis. This time of day. I'm sorry.
Even you
Figured.
were like, I can't do it. Gotta let the show be a show.
You see, like all that studio lighting. You
I like that.
wouldn't see a fucking.
like
Well, what do you
thing.
think that's a consequence of?
I like that he's he ain't sleeping.
Yeah,
He
he's
will refuse
that
to.
paranoid about protecting her right now. Poor guy probably didn't get that much sleep, but he's not gonna
Yeah.
let anyone hurt her.
I love that they've actually like gone out and shot like on locations.
The thing, man, everything's so just gritty. It's real. It looks like it's there. I could punch it in the face.
Nothing
Yeah.
looks like CGI.
Great
Nothing makes me
locations.
think that it's CGI.
Great production design.
It smells like burnt shit.
Look, coffee does a thing. That's useful.
Odds are he'll be near a settlement. Probably close to another city out there. Ain't too many of them in Wyoming.
Cheyenne.
Cheyenne.
Really? Cheyenne. Why isn't he with you?
Long story.
Is it longer than 25 hours?
So he enlists in the army right out of high school. Being in the army, it didn't make him feel much like a hero. Our outbreak happens, he convinces me to join a group, which I did. Mostly to keep an eye on him, keep him alive. That's where we met Tess. And then Tommy meets Marlene.
It's kind of listening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just realized I hadn't said anything because I'm
Fireflies, too.
actually like I want to listen.
Now, she talks me to joining the Fireflies. Same mistake he made when he was 18. He wants to save the world. Pipe dream, him, Fireflies, all of them.
Well, and we just got a huge thing for Joel just does not believe the world can be saved. It's down to individuals now.
I mean, you gotta try, right?
You haven't seen the world, so you don't know. You keep going for family. That's about it.
I'm not family.
No. Your cargo. But I made a promise to Tess.
Oh, there you go.
Why don't you try to get some sleep? Right.
I'm not even tired.
If you want to grab more sleep.
I'm not even tired.
It's an old meme, but it's a good meme.
I did like that beat in the game. Yeah, I'm glad they kept that.
It's a good way to get us to a new place.
Oh, I wonder, are we gonna do the encounter that they had in?
I'm really hoping they do.
I really like that encounter. The guy pretending he's hurt.
Yeah.
And Joel is better.
We know where this goes, so that's obviously laying groundwork for his decision relating to her. The only thing to hang on to in this world is family, as he just said. Perfectly normal characterization, but it's going to have some consequences the further we go. And yeah, I just, you know, he is no less jaded than the Joel in the game. He's just not as... He just doesn't seem as harsh.
Yeah, I'd say so. He seems a little bit softer.
Because that's the thing, a lot of people say, like, he ain't the Joel.
He's a bit different, but I mean, he's got a lot of the same core motivations.
Well, yeah, and I'm curious how they're going to get this man through a lot of the harsher scenes that Joel has to go through in the game. I wonder if they'll be changed, or if we're going to just see...
Oh, yeah, like, specifically what happens during the winter section,
yeah.
when he's trying to save out from the cannibals.
To be honest with you, I don't see why this man couldn't still end up doing those things.
Well, I mean, we saw in episode 1, right, when he beat the soldier to a pulp.
Also, what people said about that was that it wasn't as much of a cold decision that's pragmatic and useful, done for a reason, blah, blah, blah. It was an emotional one. I'm curious if we're going to get the payoff of him being like, all right, in order to get what I want,
Point
I need
to
to...
the map, and then point to the, you know, map there, and you better be the same spot, the big trick. Oh, it's, yeah.
We can jog right around this tunnel. Take the next
they're doing it. They're doing the, yeah, I think they're doing it.
I think it was a quote from Neil Druckmann saying that they're only going to change things if they think they can come up with something that's better than what they believe is in the game.
Right.
But it looks like we might be heading for a one-to-one with the game.
Well, maybe, right? I can imagine that it won't be like remaining episode will be nothing but action. There'll be conversations.
Because the idea here, of course, is that it looked like he was thinking to himself when he saw that blockade, like it was done with purpose and
specifically.
Yeah, in order to funnel people into the off ramp.
It's like that's what happened in the game as well when they couldn't get through on the freeway.
And look at that little pile for all the people that may be coming through, or it could just be for zombies. Who knows?
Is that the QZ?
Please help! Put your seatbelt on.
Easy.
Please!
Holy shit.
Help!
Are we gonna help him?
Put your seatbelt on, Ellie.
Well, what about the guy?
He ain't even hurt.
Are we gonna help him?
No.
Alone and forsaken by fate and by man. Oh Lord, if you hear me, take my hand.
Seatbelts, folks. That's what does it.
You're not hurt, nothing.
Yep.
Maybe you should have just ran that guy over.
Well, it looked to me like he was trying to avoid giving him a clean shot.
Oh, yeah. Fair enough.
You see that hole? You can squeeze through. When I say go, you crawl to that wall, and you squeeze through, and you don't come out until I say, okay? Look at me! They're not gonna hit you. You stay down, you stay low, you stay quiet.
Need to be topping that off. Feeling got one shot left in there.
You motherfucker!
Are they gonna do the that payoff now?
This is irrelevant to the game. It feels like we're setting up that she's gonna have to do something.
Yeah. I was wondering, there were 3 guys, I think.
Yeah, here we go.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's over. We're not fighting anymore. I'm gonna go home. I'll tell everyone you're good. I don't know what to do. My legs don't work. My mom isn't far. If you can get me to her, we can be friends. I didn't know. I'm Brian. What's your name?
Cannot expect Joel will let this guy live.
Nope.
No
I certainly
way.
wouldn't.
What's your name?
You made your bed.
Wait. You can have it. It's a good knife.
Yeah, I believe you.
Get back behind the wall.
No, I'm sorry, please. Please, I'm sorry, please. You don't have to. I'm sorry. No, we can just stop. Mom!
That was just a great scene.
Yeah, that was a great scene.
And finally, I can compliment Bella Ramsey's performance.
Finally, yeah.
Yeah, she was great.
This episode, I've been liking her a whole lot more.
I have too. I feel like she's embodying much more of Ellie, like from the games, the personality.
It's the fact that it was missing. I need more vulnerability from her, and we're getting it.
Yeah.
The tearing up behind the wall is really well done. Yeah.
Yep.
And just, I really liked Pedro Pascal's stress in that fight when it started up. I get the sense that it was more so about her than it was about him.
But also, just again, we're doing the thing where, like, encounters with a handful of people or, like, 2 infected are really stressful.
You get the sense of, like, one misstep and, things could really go south.
Oh, exactly.
And just what it all
like,
means,
damn, Joel
because he's familiar with all this, but she's learning all of it.
That's right, so, yeah.
But, like, hearing a guy begging for his mum, like...
This is what it means, right, to kill someone. It's something that she's
everything
never...
he was talking about, right? You haven't seen the world.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, you can feel sympathetic for these people, and maybe they are good people, but look at what just happened. Like, they were going to kill us for nothing.
What else do you want me to say?
I don't know, the truth. Henry Burrell.
I wonder if they're setting up Henry and Sam, yeah.
That would be next.
I wonder if this is the cell where my brother was beaten to death.
No, you were wronged. But this has gone too far.
Now, you mean? Now that you're in the cell. But before, people dying was okay, and ratting on your neighbors to Fedra.
They put a gun to my head.
Have I satisfied the necessary conditions for you to talk?
I delivered you.
He's still in the city. And I think that you know that too. You think I won't do it?
I'm your doctor.
Honestly, I don't know the full context of this, but it's kind of interesting already that he's saying that Henry gave up the locations for her, or at least information on her brother. Now she's asking for information that would lead to the death of that guy, sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like whoever the doctor is, he's being forced to do the thing that he would have been punished for doing if he had done it.
That's Tommy's voice actor.
It's not a Fedra vehicle, but they were heavily supplied.
Oh, right.
Could be Mercs.
Yeah, they brought people back. They didn't leave him behind.
That's cool. He's got a look to him, hasn't he?
Will he live?
He does.
Have a look.
Will he live? I don't think so.
No way.
What if I had a doctor?
No, these are dead. You need a witch doctor, baby.
Yeah, the voodoo. Arise, chicken.
Chicken, arise. Arise, chicken. Arise.
Chicken, arise.
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 Arise, chicken.
Arise, chicken.
Looks like Joel stabbed that guy right in the heart.
Yeah.
That's good in terms of just a smart move. Don't waste ammo, you know?
Yeah.
I was gonna point that out and I forgot. Like, he was like, here's my knife. And it's like, thank you. I will use this right now.
Yeah.
Rip that guy, I guess. But see, this is just how it goes, right? You kill... Because these people are very clearly, like, they've got issues with Fedra, as well as Henry and Sam. They've got, like, civil shit going on, but they would have had setups for any potential threats coming in, and they've hit the wrong people at the wrong time, and now they've lost people, and now they are angry at our people. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it always unfolds. And this is way better already than anything you usually get, and like how people look at The Last of Us 2's unraveling, the retcon unraveling of, like, that conflict between the Abby team and the Joel team. I think that's the biggest problem. If only they knew they were making The Last of Us 2 when they were making The Last of Us 1, they could have made it much more coherent. This show does have that benefit, so I wonder if they'll change it.
A little bit, maybe. As soon as we don't hear a truck, we move.
Are you okay?
I'm all right. Are you all right?
Yeah.
Thing is I didn't hear that guy coming. He shouldn't have had to have...
Well, you're glad I did, right?
Well, you're just a kid. It's not like you killed him. I'm not good at this.
Yeah, you really aren't.
I mean, it was my fault. You shouldn't have had to. And I'm sorry.
probably speak so I can fucking help myself with copyright. But like, it's just really good.
Yeah, it is really good. I'm just kind of focusing, looking at the actors' faces and, you know, what they say. It's really impressive. I was thinking that, you know, this before the show came out, everyone was super worried, but
yeah, I don't know, man. 4 episodes.
4 for 4, I would
so
say. I
far,
don't see how
so
they're going to fuck
good.
this up for the rest of the few minutes.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
And just that he's so sorry that part of her innocence is gone now.
And now he's immediately teaching her how to actually... It's almost maybe a recognition that she may well have to do this again.
Yeah, as much as it's true that it's reckless to provide someone a gun, she just saved his life with one, so now it's like...
He knows what
I
it
think,
does.
I think
He knows,
it's just
he's very practical about it.
It's like that was the first thing he did when she did save him, was take the gun off her.
Yep. Like, all right, give me that.
You put it in your pack.
Yeah,
actually, I think this beat is better done than in the games, where Ellie shoots the guy and saves Joel, and Joel is like angry, completely no gratitude for the fact that he's obviously just about to get killed, and had Ellie not done anything, he absolutely would have died.
And you just hang back like I told you to.
Well, you're glad I didn't, right?
I'm glad I didn't get my head blown off by a goddamn kid.
You know what? No. How about, hey, Ellie, I know it wasn't easy, but it was either him or me. Thanks for saving my ass. You got anything like that for me, Joel?
We gotta get going.
Lead the way.
Something on your mind, Ellie?
I wasn't trying to disobey you back there. You were taking a really long time, and I thought maybe he's gotten into trouble.
Look, it don't matter what you thought. I need you to listen to me.
I do. It's just that... Whatever, Joel.
Someone would probably say in defense of that, he's still desperately trying to remain distant and cold with her at that point in the game, or at least it's breaking apart. In this, though, they've gone an angle that I really like, which is he feels guilty that she's had to take a life, or the equivalent of doing that.
Yeah.
And also, she didn't put the pistol in her pack. It's in her jacket.
I know.
Yeah, because he would like it so that she pulls it out in absolute emergencies, while she's going to be like, no, I want this on hand, which I wonder if that'll have consequences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, again, like, reactions and stuff, when she shot that guy, they made sure to show us very clearly that she did not enjoy doing that, and she's just been tearing up thinking about it the whole time. Soon after, you know, not understanding exactly what she's getting into with all the bandit types, but yeah. I don't know, I mean, Joel is fucking consumed by, like, trying to do this job properly. I feel kind of bad for him. Because part of it as well, I was just thinking about, is like the issue he has is she's not just the effort of whether or not he gets to like it, but she's also of an age where it's like, does he have a responsibility to raise her? And what I mean by that is like any and all interaction, like the porn mag, for example, right? That's too old for you. Like, well, what do you care? I'm just cargo. I'm a person to be delivered. And
right.
he has like this level of responsibility of like, well, it's inappropriate for people your age. And obviously that'll just keep going on and on. And that's the implication, right?
This must be where Henry and Sam...
Oh yeah, definitely. I imagine next episode is going to be all about Henry, Sam, and these guys.
That'd be my guess.
Just dropping us the setup first. And that'll probably be a whole adventure, and then episode 6 will be when the big thing happens with Henry and Sam, maybe. Or maybe end of episode 5. I don't know how much time they have.
Maybe the end of episode 5, because they still got to get the Tommy stuff, and then they got to do the winter section.
Yeah, we've got so much stuff to do.
These episodes are going by fast. I mean, there's only like 8 or 9 overall.
There's 9 episodes here. Oh!
Oh, is this the...
Is it the bloater?
Is this like a fungal growth, or...?
Oh, because there was that clip in the trailer where something rising out of a hole in the ground, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
maybe that's the bloater.
I was about to say, is this an emergence hole? Fucking Gears style, but I don't think...
I think you're mixing up your franchises.
But, yeah... Because, wait, I'm trying to remember...
I wonder, what are they doing here? She's so obsessed with getting Henry that she's wants to focus their efforts on something that you could just let go compared to this clear and present threat.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yep.
Well, because...
and he ain't so sure about that.
This is the thing, I already feel like I understand her mostly. Like, she's just your standard leader for a...
by vengeance.
Well, that and just the fact that, like, she's not strictly evil. She's
Oh yeah,
she's been led down a lot of these harsher choices. This is the thing. I feel like this is the way to go. You have a lot of characters and a lot of other significant antagonists. They're all reflections of Joel, and then relationships are always going to be reflections of Joel and Ellie's. And of course, like any big criticisms you can have of a lot of characters will likely be like, well, Joel did blah blah blah. Joel did.
Joel's also like
which
that.
I feel like
Joel did that.
Last of Us 2 was supposed to try and point out like the consequences of that reality. I'm trying not to talk about it, but I have to. It stole my investment in this IP, and this is building it back up again.
Actually, I think they'll meet Sam and Henry at the end of this episode. That would be my guess.
Could be, yeah. I wonder if they'll do the same thing as the game. It's quite a precarious introduction, you could say.
How did you know it was an ambush?
How did you know
Know what?
about the ambush?
I've been on both sides.
I've been on both sides. It was a long time ago. We did what we needed to survive.
You and Tess? So, there are a lot of innocent people. We'll take that as a yes.
Take it however you want.
Did you kill innocent people?
Come on.
Come on.
Give me a minute.
Get up, you lazy ass.
Lazy ass. 56 years old, you little shit.
Hi. Good job, dude.
I like it. I like it a lot. This is the kind of things I like to see.
What are you doing?
Isn't it obvious?
I don't want someone sneaking up on us while we're sleeping.
Oh.
I don't know if I'd be sleeping in eyesight of the door, though.
Yeah, because...
around something, or around the corner, or the back there.
Yeah.
Maybe behind the couch or something.
When we were talking about hurting people, what did you mean it wasn't your first time?
I don't want to talk about it.
Z doesn't want to talk about it either.
I'm just saying, it isn't fair. Your age.
So it gets easier when you get older?
No, not really.
I've noticed you don't hear too well from your right side. Is it because you were shot there?
Probably more from shooting. So if you want to keep your hearing, you stick to that knife.
Did you know diarrhea is hereditary?
What?
Yeah. It runs in your genes.
Jesus.
That is so goddamn stupid.
You laugh, motherfucker.
I didn't laugh.
Yes, you did.
Jesus, I'm losing it.
You're losing it big time.
Another good moment there.
Joel!
Interesting.
That's the best one of the four. Got better again.
I'm thinking
I
it
agree.
is. Yeah.
I agree. Actually, yeah, we got a lot of good work for these characters in this episode.
Yeah, I think that episode really gave us what we needed for these two.
Oh, so much stuff has been filled in. I'm very happy with that.
Definitely
Yeah.
happy that it took that direction and we really focused a lot on Ellie and Joel, and I think they did a really good job of it. It was well timed, and it, at this point I can believe that it's not too soon as well.
I think what happened there is it's like, oh, this show's gonna be good, isn't it? Like through the end.
Four is beyond a pattern at this point.
You got four good episodes and a lot of clear intentionality behind the writing. Yeah, this is good television.
There were a couple of things I think that have been missing for a couple people. I've been wanting both Pedro and Bella to be pushed a bit acting wise, and we just got a decent dose of that in the whole episode. Obviously, more binding the two of them together, having the exterior be pretty cold and hard, but also being worn down. We just did all of that in the episode. Loads of examples of just reasonable and intelligent choices being made by characters throughout. I love the fact that there's loads of just tidbits about post-apocalyptic survival that he would know and he's sharing with her. Like I said, I like the efforts with he doesn't know what to do in terms of what to allow her to be exposed to in the world, because he's almost got a responsibility to actually take care of this child that's growing up outside of his job as a smuggler. The gas breaking down, or how siphoning works, and then like explaining to her the glass or the smoke when they were in the forest. Like, there's many different layers of how they're improving their relationship, and we had pieces of that in the other episode, but this one felt like a fucking, a shotgun blast of a lot of it.
Yeah, you get the sense of this is what, if they just kept carrying on and on and on, this is kind of how they would behave. And it was just well paced in terms of how they interacted, where they still kind of draw their lines of things they don't want to talk about. We got the survivally bits, we got the hiding from people bits, we got him, taking control and staying on track with her, making sure that she's kind of the focus of his attentions. I think this was really well done. I like a great deal of it.
I'd be surprised if people don't think the Bella Ramsey's got a bit more clout now, as in like that she's got some
certainly
value.
With me, I wasn't impressed before this at all, but this episode really, I'm really down with it now. I think she's doing a really good job, and I think what they're telling her to do is very good. Certainly the other half of it that you can't forget.
I feel like what we're
really
seeing
impressed
here
with
is like the value that can be derived from using television as a format to retell the story. Is just the amount of time that is afforded just gives them a few more opportunities to build up these characters and their relationship, and give like important moments in the game a little bit more time to breathe than they might have had before.
I like the delaying of having more clicker stuff for now.
Yes.
And then I feel like very soon we're going to get a heaping serving of that with whatever's under the ground there.
I get the impression that the next episode's going to be a bit explosive. That would be my guess.
I'm just so ready for more of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to see more.
Because, funnily enough, seeing it in muted, like, I already enjoy... the guy was, like, begging her not to take that second shot, and he's explaining it, and she's not taking it, she's looking a little bit sympathetic, and then he just sort of looks over at Joel as he's about to stand up, and it's like, yeah, good luck convincing that guy, the one you were just trying to kill. Like, it's so over for you, sort of thing. The little, dare I say, micro expressions all over the place. Just like, it's something that you can get in video games, definitely can, especially with the technology that the place is at now. But when you have a full-on actual human being doing a top-notch performance, just like, yeah, this is obviously a power you have with TV. You get to record it straight into the screen. And oh man, just Joel being like, just go stand behind the wall, and then her just tearing up listening to that guy just has to be killed. We've got no choice. He has to die.
That was a great scene.
Yes,
there were a lot of great scenes though in this episode, which is probably the reason why.
Well, we did a mini arc thing. She first tells the jokes, and he's like, "Shut the fuck up." He even says like, "No," and you get that strict impression of like, "Yeah, this is." He knows what this means. You tell jokes, I find them funny.
Exactly.
We can bond. It's like, no, it's not happening. All the way to the end, where she tells what, and he can't not laugh because. Whatever, he's human, and it's the whole thing. She's cracking through him. She's restoring his humanity.
Yeah,
it's part of what is so great about this relationship, and how it looks like they're getting there.
I like the build-up of her firing the gun in the game when she saves Joel. It's like a surprise reveal where like it's on the gunshot or right after.
Yeah.
But this, it's like you hang on Ellie, and it's like, oh shit, I'm doing this. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna be the same after this, but I have to. Yeah.
Well, because she's got a couple things to balance at first, right? Do I use the knife? I could use the gun, and I've got to get through the wall. I got to like all these different things happening. She's clearly dealing with all of it, and then I don't think she knows that she did the right thing when she shot him as well.
Yeah, I like that she paralyzed him, and it's like, oh my god, his legs don't work forever now. If he's gonna get out of this alive.
Yeah, like she's dealing with having done that to him when Joel's sitting there like he's dead. So, this is.
Yeah.
And then that follow-up conversation where even Joel is like, it's not like you killed him, but like the reason Joel's saying all that shit is he recognized pretty easily this has had a huge effect on her, and it's not something that he's supposed to prevent stuff like that from having to happen. The whole reason why, you could argue there's another reason why she doesn't get to have a gun is that she'll never need to have one.
Yeah, despite her trying to hide how devastated she is by it, I think.
Which is what
He
we
sees,
needed.
He sees it anyway. Yeah.
I'm really happy that after it all happens and she saves Joel, he's not angry at her for doing it. Like, he's very rational about it. He says, no, keep the gun, because I know that it actually might help. Just keep it in your backpack, you know? It's just a very rational course of action to take, and I like that.
Well, and it's,
Yeah.
I feel like unless they're media, he'd be like, well, you shouldn't have had that gun. I told you not to have it. And that's all they would have focused on. And I would have been like, ugh, boring.
Yeah,
Well,
I know.
it's because there are a few things happening at once. It's like, thanks, yes, but also I failed. You shouldn't have needed to do that, and also you're feeling things because of this choice that you made. It's it's a few things going on all at once, and then you basically get to explore a good chunk of that in their subsequent scene.
Yeah, I suppose his irrational anger in the game at that moment is a bit justified because that scene in the game where Joel's about to die is a bit more disturbing to watch. Like where he's holding the guy's
He's holding him
Joel
underwater.
I shot the hell out of that guy, huh?
And he like pins his hand down so he can't grab the gun. It's like, oh my god.
Well, yeah, and you can argue he's not going to be very hyper rational in that moment. It's all very stressed and strung out right after that's just happened. Meanwhile, here, this is a different version, and he's able to very much understand, even through his own experience, like, so you've just done something that's going to affect you significantly. You're super young. I remember what it was like. All that kind of stuff, and just, he doesn't know what to say, because he's not no fucking training for, like, how you're supposed to talk to somebody who's just taken a life.
Yeah.
She highlights that, and so this conversation is really awkward, and he just cuts through the shit and just says, I'm sorry, you shouldn't have had to do that.
Yeah.
It's not even about consoling her necessarily. He's just trying to get out that, like, I never should have let that happen. Fuck.
Yeah. With a case like this where you have pre-existing material to work with, when you're adapting it, there's the opportunity to distill and simplify scenes. Like that beat where the truck crashes in the game, it's a much bigger set piece. There's a whole bunch of enemies. It's like a big fight. But then in this, it's just like 3 guys, because that's all we need for this scene. To get all the beats across, we just need to boil this down to 3.
Well, as was mentioned, right,
basically.
this seems to be something of a system they probably have set up, and they probably have shifts, right? It's just whenever another car comes in, we can fuck them up, take them hostage, and maybe even kill them or bring them in. There's obviously something going on with this whole area, but the fact is, like I said, they hit the wrong people. It's going to have, big old consequences, but that's kind of this world, and that's what everyone warns about. It's like the further you go out or the different places you visit, people are just not ready to trust you. They're going to kill you because they expect you to kill them. And then what happens? They get killed by you because you're expecting them to try and kill you, and so you kill them.
Yeah.
But to be fair, they shot first, so fuck them.
Hey, you get in a fight.
Well, and this is the
Why
thing I
not
was
go
thinking
your
about.
way?
It could be that had they, gotten out of their car and they're like, "Oh, you okay, man?" And then he pulls a gun on them, and then he's like, "Don't move, hands up," on the floor, and then they eventually get incorporated and spared and join this crew. That could be how they get new people in. The fact is, like, you don't get to decide the way that people join, and so people may just try and fucking kill you, and that's what this world is. And I just appreciate that. That's just, it's good as supporting how dangerous it all is, but it's also just big for Ellie to have to go through. And like I said, that scene come across to me, I think he would have been a lot more calm if it was just him, Joel. Like, he'd be like, I'm killing them, or they kill me. That's how this works. But knowing, like, I can't die because I have to take care of Ellie.
Yeah.
It just raises the stakes for him as a character, and, for us. Even to the point of, like, when they're in the forest, and he's like, she says, no one's going to find us, sort of in the forest, and he's like, no one's going to find us. It's not even about whether or not they would. It's just that it's a matter of him trying to state, I will protect you no matter what. It is my job.
Mm-hmm.
And I just appreciate that they're making that very, very strong. And it's even throwing in the whole, he wanted to save the world. It's a pipe dream. Firefly is the same. The lot of them, they're all fucking wrong. There is no saving the world. It's like...
Well, because it makes you wonder, are we gonna see Joel as he starts to open up to Ellie and come to really care for her, that maybe he'll even start to lean towards the notion of, especially if she starts to adopt the attitude of wanting to save the world, right? It's like that conversation with everything that we've done, everything we've been through, it can't be for nothing. Like that mindset.
Yeah.
I imagine that they'll actually have that verbatim, and it will just be a situation where maybe Joel's like, maybe you've got a point, and then, you get the reveal of what's about to happen, and then he just abandons it straight away. And it may be something that they actually clash on. Maybe he starts to see that Ellie adopts that attitude, and he's like,
That'll be the
Hey,
most
hold on.
controversial episode.
Yes, it will. I know.
Because they're probably not going to follow the game. They'll make tweaks. And
No. I think
literally
they're gonna,
down to
but I mean-
individual words being used are going to have huge effects on the discourse.
Yeah, but I don't know. So far, it's been pretty good. I don't know what else
It really
to
has
say.
been. And
So
this is the thing,
far,
though.
it's been
I
really
don't.
good.
I don't mind if they do change it so that
Well, as long
the
as they
Fireflies
build
are a
it all
lot
up
more.
appropriately.
If the Fireflies were a lot more altruistic and the cure is actually in stone, they say, like, we just need to harvest what's in her brain and that is it and it's done, and we have all is prepared to create the cure, you could push it to the point where it was the world or her, and you could still maintain what I think is the point of The Last of Us as an IP. Possible. But I suppose I'm also worried about what they're going to do with the Doctor. Are they going to let us know?
They're gonna have him
Yeah.
save his emperor in episode 9.
There are things that should be changed when you're doing a thing like this. I mean, when you got this all new serialized episodic format, you look for opportunities to condense events. Like the truck crash, that happened when as it does in the games. But the beat where she uses the gun to save Joel from like almost being killed, that happens way later in the game. But they saw an opportunity to like, well, let's just do it here, and then we can get that out of the way. It's not forced in like, making it happen quicker than just because it happens later in the games doesn't mean it's forced in this case that it's happening more quicker.
Well, and I hate to... Is episode 3 not vindicated somewhat? We got huge payoffs for the fact that they had the car, the gun, and how many instances were there in this episode of Joel doing something that relates to his almost getting to the point of insecurity in that she matters more than anything, right? Like the failure with Sarah, the failure with Tess, Bill telling him it's his job, and the relationship he had with Frank being like parallel. The fact that she said, no one's going to find us in the forest, right? And even Rags pointed out, I was like, of course not. And then he stays up all night on watch anyway.
Yeah.
Because, that's Joel right now. And I feel like the job of episode 3 is come through already, and we haven't even gotten to the big payoff of this whole season.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, we still got a lot more. We got a lot more story left, but after next week, it'll be halfway through, which is kind of crazy. It feels like it's flying by.
When you watch the 4 of them together, you've got the package now.
Yeah, exactly. Patience. It's a whole season of television.
Well, it reminds me, like, so many people were very scared that Tess was going to be in it for ages. Like, she wasn't. And it's like, are they even going to do a payoff with, like, more Joel and Ellie? Where the fuck are they? And it's like, we've got it now. There it is.
Oh, now you got a whole episode that's very much was focused on... You only had a little bit of stuff to set up the main conflict for the next episode here. This was a very focused Joel and Ellie episode.
Yeah.
Which was obviously needed. But, I mean, yeah, at this point, it's like, man, I feel like we've done a lot of work so far. We're in a really good place to keep going with the rest of the season with more of the plot stuff. If you, call it that, like more of the main plot beats from the game.
Like, that lady is going to be our... It could be that she's knocked out next episode as an antagonist. But
I can believe that, yeah.
They've given us, a quick and simplistic sort of, like, this is who she is already. So I'm curious what the next episode is going to focus on. Probably Henry and Sam.
Yeah.
I like the reveal of them at the end. I like that is the episode cap, because we know, like, they have a beef with the... whatever the name of the organization. I don't know if it's the WLF or whatever, but like, like they have a problem with Henry and Sam. And then at the end, you see that they're holding Joel and Ellie at gunpoint, but you're thinking like, well, they're probably going to work together. And
yeah, I hate both of you.
But I do quite like the reveal of those two characters in the game. There's a nice little sequence of events there.
Joel, stop! Look.
Leave him alone.
Easy, son. Just take it easy.
It's all right. They're not the bad guys. Lower the gun.
And then everyone's just like, whoa, everybody just chill out.
Yeah.
I like that beat in the game a lot, but this was fine.
I mean, dude, I'm looking forward to the idea that they will have their conversation, they'll calm down, then they'll team up, and then we'll do... Lots of things can be achieved, certain decisions will be made that identify the fact that this isn't a team, this is 2 teams of 2, and and then we'll get the other thing that'll happen. I'm trying to remain relatively spoiler-free here, because I don't know how much Rags remembers, nor how much people who are watching this remember. Lots of great potential to come, is the way I would put it. Really strong episode.
I'm still hooked, and that cracked ground thing is really cool. It's like, oh, what's that going to be?
Well, yeah, I'm just like, you're actually giving me a setup here that I want to see resolve. I want to see what happens with the things that you've presented me.
Yeah.
It's not. I'm not rolling my eyes because like, oh, let me guess, will happen. It's like, no, I really want to know. I think you've got something in mind.
Yeah, it's like a little nuclear warhead of sorts they have in that room. I love the discovery on it, and it looks so creepy. And then they're just like, "Holy shit!" and they back out and close the door. Like, let's not go back in there.
It seems like they have some level of familiarity, like they know what it is.
Right. Yeah.
But I certainly fucking don't. I have a feeling
mole people
infected are gonna crawl out of there, and if we get them led by a bloater, I think fans will be like, "Yay, there's the bloater."
Yeah,
you're doing game things in this game show.
Yeah, I think we got a lot of the beats that were required. They've adapted with respect and care. They've got Joel is like talented and cold where necessary, I would say. But he's also, like I said, warmer than the game, and I don't think that's a downgrade at all. I think it's just different. Even though there are plenty of moments where he's perfectly warm and chill with Ellie, certainly by this part into the storyline as well.
Do you know what's not right?
Left?
Yeah. That's awesome.
Would you play this before?
No. But I had a friend that knew everything about this game. Apparently, there's this character called Angel Knives who'd... what was it? She'd punch a hole through your stomach before kicking your head off.
I was never a big fan of these things.
Ellie was so fucking confident and smug in the first three mostly. It's really good to drag her into something that's really fucking hard to deal with and watching her actually have trouble with it. It's like, good, needed that too. Just the fact that they're helping each other, banking on the setups in episodes 1, 2, and 3 all at once. And like I said, 4 and 5, I can't imagine it's not going to be fucking engaging. It's just that everyone's panicking about where it ends, that's all.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's not about the destination. It's about the journey, all right? And so far, so good. I don't know what to say.
Yeah,
It's
so
been
far, so good.
far.
Definitely impressed with it.
Alrighty. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you for episode 5.
Yeah, we will see everybody later on.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye.
They put a gun to my head.
Desert Eagle can shoot through anything. What'd you bring me?